Hi to everyone, I'm Alonso Sánchez and I am a PhD student at the Catholic University of Valencia. And now I'm going to present the use of digital technologies for hiking, a quantitative study in 4 Spanish protected areas. Starting with the introduction, Spain is one of the countries in the world where it is possible to hike all year round, thanks to the accessibility of its natural spaces, the climatic conditions, and its federative structure. Indeed, currently hiking is the 3rd most practiced sport activity, practiced by the 26.5% of the sportive population. But the thing is that until 2010, hiking was only practiced by the 8% of this sportive population. So the question would be, what happened from 2010 and 2022? And furthermore, how was the situation in the world in these dates? In 2016, nature tourism accounted for the 7% of the international tourism, but in 2018, it grew to 20%. In European countries, such as the Netherlands, between 2009 and 2016, that growth meant the 219% and 175% in the United Kingdom. And the main demand in active tourism was hiking. So the question would be, why? Different authors point out to the digital communication. And now, how can digital technologies, meaning digital communication, affect hiking? And it can be affected by 3 kinds of apps. The main one would be route search apps. These apps give hikers technical information about a route, meaning the degree of difficulty, accumulative elevation gain, distance, equipment, climate conditions, etc. Moreover, it generates interaction between users, meaning that they can upload photos, they can comment in, they can make some comments, they can rate the app and the route. And in addition, they can also provide tracking and geolocalization functions. And this is very important because some years ago, traditional hiking was characterized by the use of manuals and guides provided by tourism office. This means that some years ago, to decide what hike do you want to do, you would need some kind of knowledge. So this used to work as a filter. But nowadays, everyone can download apps like Wikiloc or Strava and follow a route. So this is a milestone in digital communication in hiking. Another kind of apps, we have geolocalization apps, and this is basically to locate the hiker in a point, and tracking apps, and this is to make orientation easier. And apart from applications, we have social networks. Nature tourism is in social networks showing the world new places to visit. Instagram is the social network with the higher growth since 2015 and the most used in 2022, and gives the possibility to share with the online community the beauty of a place and how to access to that beauty. Indeed, during 2022, some influencers have enhanced natural tourism. So with the aim of understanding the growth that hiking had in Spain, our question study was, first, what digital technologies do hikers use? Second, what benefits do they present? And third, what is the profile of the hiker who uses this technology? We did a field study from April to September of 2022 during weekends and holidays. With a semi-structured interview, we collected quantitative data on the use of digital technologies. The additional information provided voluntarily by the hikers was used to create a small quantitative analysis, and the sample was drawn using a non-probabilistic convenience sampling. Here you can see how was the structure of the interview. Here we asked for sociodemographic data, the use of apps, the use of digital networks, functions, and benefits. Moreover, we divide the use of apps before, during, and after the hikes. The participant selection strategy was to interview the third of every 3 hikers, and the hiker must wear sports clothing and mountain on trail running footwear. This was driven by the idea that we don't want to interview tourists, we want to interview hikers. Once were selected, they were informed that, of the nature of the study, and during the survey, they were accompanied along the route, unless they prefer to do the survey standing up. Additional notes were taken to not lose any detail of the information provided and to analyze it later. And no informal and no personal information was requested. The sample was 173 hikers, 56% men and 44% women, and with an average of age of 43 years. And we did the interview in Sierra Calderona in Valencia, Sierra Espadán, Castellón, Sierra Mariola, Alicante, and Valles Occidentales in Huesca. The results was the vast majority of the sample, 83%, had an experience level superior to 3 years, an average of 18 years of experience, so our sample was really experienced hikers. Digital technologies were used by the 64.2% of the hikers in at least one of the phases of the route, meaning before the hike, during, and at the end. Before the hike, applications were used by almost the 80% of the sample, during by almost the 70% of the hikers, and the end by the 56.6%. And the main application used was Wikiloc. That was because the study was carried out in Spain. If this would be carried out in another country, many different applications would appear, meaning, for example, Strava or FatMap or whatever. Then social networks were used by the 45.1% of the hikers, before the hike, 52%, during the hike, 32%, at the end of the hike, 49%. And the less years of experience mean less social network use, hiking-related content. And then this is really interesting because the older the age, the greater the perception of satisfaction with the use of technology. And this is really related with what I said before. Some years ago, hikes were found in magazines and guides, and you would need to have some knowledge about the topic to distinguish the proper hike, the proper route. But now, with the digital technologies, digital communication, the comments, the rating of the routes, is really easy to find the correct route. So that's why these older and more experienced people really appreciate these new methods of finding the hike. And finally, the perception of the use of technologies was very, very positive. As a conclusion, hiking has changed radically thanks to the technological revolution. The expansion of the use of application and social networks has led to publicize countless of routes. This growth has directly affected rural populations, contributing to the growth of the hotel sector and active tourism companies. Second, the use of digital technologies increases the perception of security by tracking or by the better preparation of the hike, turning hiking into a less dangerous activity if the routes are carefully studied. In addition, they can popularize new routes. And finally, however, the bad use of digital technologies can lead to the overpopulation of areas, increasing pollution rates and damaging the flora and fauna. And some final consideration regarding limitation. This was a pilot study with a really small sample. And for the future, we would need to create a better qualitative analysis to increase the sample and to increase the geographic area, not only in Spain, but in other countries as well. Thank you for your attention. This is here you have my email if you want to contact me.